G'day, Geoff Lewis here from Seriously Series, and welcome to another segment, bit of the saga, that is the engine dramas. A lot has happened since I spoke to you last, and I just wanted to fill you in where we're at and the start of what I am calling the resurrection from the ashes. That's right. This motor is going to run once more, and I'm going to fill you in what I've been doing and what the plans are for later on down the track. So if you are enjoying this saga, if you are enjoying the content here at Seriously Series, then please do click on that subscribe button down below, and please do click on that notification button too. Give us a thumbs up if you think the video is okay, but most importantly, stay tuned. Rightio. So a lot's been going on behind the scenes here, and as I sort of alluded in our update video, it has sort of started getting to be a little bit too much. So myself, I'll be a little bit absent here and there off YouTube for a while because I just really want to get this all done and dusted, pretty much, for good. So I've done quite a bit of work on and off while having Christmas off, and I'm just getting over COVID, so I'm a little bit jaded. Luckily, I got it late in the piece, so I'm very thankful for that. But what I've done is I've basically taken all the pistons out, I've taken the cylinder head off, I've taken the cylinder head off to a local firm that has just opened up recently. They've been in Kalgoorlie for many, many years, but the previous owner passed away, and now they're back in business again. I think the son is running the show now. They're called VT Engineering. So they've rebuilt quite a few of these in the past, so wait and see. I feel like I'm in reasonably good hands. So I'm going to get them to crack test it, and I'm going to get them to skim the head. Now that is probably excessive, and you're right in saying that I could probably not bother doing any of those and just check it with a straight edge, suck it and see. And that's what I would normally do, but I am, as I've said in many, many of these parts, I'm at wit's end, so I'm leaving no stone unturned, and that is not a geology pun here. So that's off getting its whatever done to it. I'm fitting the piston rings back in, and I've been doing quite a bit of work with the piston rings, just seeing what the ring gaps are, or the tolerance within the bore. And pretty much most of these are, as far as the workshop manual concerns, they're a little bit over by like 0.02 of a thou, which is not much for these motors at all. So they're within the realm of possibility for everything to work okay. So what I've done there is I've had a look at the bore. Many of you noted that the bore looked like it was honed too finely, and it was glazed and burning that much oil, rightly so. So I actually purchased myself a honing tool, which I had to go all the way to the capital city of this state, Perth, to get. But I've done it with this. It's a medium grit or grade stones on it, so it should give a nice abrasive finish, which is, I guess, what we're after, because we are running cast iron compression rings. So I've done that on all of the all of the bores, and now I'm just fitting the rings back on. I'm going to use the rings that obviously came out of it. The reason being is they've just done hardly any Ks. They've done a bit over 2,000 kilometres, which is what, 1,100 miles. So it's just a dot in the grand scheme of things. It's a little bit warm here today, and so and so I can't see any point in putting new rings in at this point. However, as of 4:30 yesterday, that all changed, because I was putting the piston rings back on cylinder 2, or piston 2, and the compression ring snapped. So now I've got to go through the saga of getting piston rings, which luckily, prior to that, I got a call from the establishment that did all the work on this motor. And we had a very, very long chat about this engine and what's been done to it and what could be causing it to just burn through so much oil. And it seems that the only thing that we can find is that it's either a ring issue, which it doesn't look to be the case. Having looked at the bores previously, and I know some of you said the rings weren't bedded in, they were. They were, having reassessed the bores. They were slightly shiny on the thrust side and the downdraft side. That's pretty typical. I've actually pulled another motor apart and looked at that, and I've consulted with a few close friends in regards to it who've rebuilt a number of these. So I think the rings were definitely bedded in. The cylinder head gasket failed, but I was probably a bit too quick to get agitated by that and the fact that the bolts were loose. The argument now is, from the establishment that did the work on this, is that when a composite head gasket fails, the tension or the pressure of that head down to the actual engine block is somewhat released, and therefore that can cause the bolts to become slightly loose. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. The other problem is what caused that cylinder head gasket to fail. Now, I attributed that to that cylinder head not being put on correctly. However, the gentleman that I spoke to said that if vast sums of oil were going into one or two of the pistons, then that's going to cause for pressure to build up, and that could actually cause for the cylinder head gasket to fail. So that then points further up. It then points to what could be an issue with the cylinder head. Now, the cylinder head is quite a complex cast bit of kit, and depending on what has failed in there in regards to like an oil gallery or something, could be the cause. Don't know. I do not know. So one of the things that I suggested was, would it be worthwhile trying a different cylinder head? Because I've actually got the old motor here out of the Series 3 that was originally in it. And I thought, well, I'm having such a poor lot of luck with this one, I might as well rebuild that one myself while this one's getting done too, or at least overhaul it a bit. So, and that head is at VT Engineering too. So I'm kind of in two minds whether to try that and see if that makes a difference. Don't know. So anyway, where do we go from here? Well, I'm going to put a new set of rings in because I've already snapped one, and you can buy them per piston, but at $40 per piston, it's still $40, but it's pretty cheap. So I might as well get 4 of them. And that means they're all brand new again. And we just start the process again of running in. And I know everyone has told me everything from, sucking an egg and, lying down while driving your Land Rover makes it run in better. There is so many wives' tales in regards to running in. And I'm not boo-hooing anyone who's left a comment in regards to that. But just the hardest thing with this whole process is that there is so much information out there and there are so many different opinions. It is very, 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 very difficult to find out and put your finger on what is right and what is wrong. It's incredibly difficult. So as for running in oils, I've looked around where I am and it's impossible to get it. I'll have to order it online if I'm going to go down that road. I'm more inclined just to run a 1540 mineral-based oil, which is what I can get, and just run that. And I'm sure that will do the job fine. Turner Engineering, who have been hugely helpful, and I would very much recommend dealing with them if you ever need any help or parts for your motor, suggested running a 1030 mineral grade oil. And that would work very, very well, but I've thought about that a little bit, and because it's quite hot over here, it's about 40 degrees centigrade, hence why I have to have a little bit of lubrication myself for the vocal cords to keep going. I think a 1540 would be pretty much, by the time you started the motor up, it would be the same as a 1030, because that vehicle and all my other Land Rovers, if I hop in and I've had it parked in the sun and I turn it on, that motor's already sitting at 40 degrees centigrade. It's already halfway to getting warm. So, I think that'd be fine. So, I've got to wait for the cylinder head to come back. I've got to check the deck or the top of the block with a straight edge and just a light. I'm not going to bother taking it all apart and getting it machined. I've spent enough on this as it is. So I'll do that, put the new rings in, put it back together, chuck it in the car, and we will see if it works or not. And I have no idea if it will or it won't. Maybe we need to start a pool or something like that, betting pool. We got as much luck as the lottery. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this waffle and ramblings of this frustrated mechanic and this decrepit motor, and we will see where we end up down the track. And before I go, I nearly forgot, just want to say a big, big thank you and a shout out to Chris and Tony and everyone else that has put a wonderful comment down below or has got in touch. It makes a big, big difference, just morale-wise, because this has been going on for 2 years, and it doesn't get any easier. And I just want to be able to drive the vehicle and enjoy the thing and be able to bring some adventures to you and actually do what we're meant to do and take this vehicle out on some proper adventures. So anyway, thank you all very much for your support. Big shout out and thank you to all of our Patreons or patrons for making this possible. It does make a big, big difference. And look, if you're feeling sympathetic or you're actually enjoying the series, give us a thumbs up down below. It makes a big, big difference with Dr. Google and all the algorithms and electricity that goes on with YouTube. Anyway, I'll let you be and I'll catch you in our next video. See you then.